Hey guys, Tyler Mohr here. If you don't know me, well, most people don't, but I'm an avid angler and one of the few big bait fishermen here in the upper Midwest. I'm from Minnesota and I've been in the big bait and swim bait game for about 2 seasons now, so I'm relatively new, but I've gotten into the culture and the community in a hurry, and I've had a lot of fun with it. But one thing that I've noticed in the swim bait community and a lot of times in the fishing community in general is a good lack of non-biased reviews and descriptions of baits and people looking for information on baits. And so I went out to solve that. All I got is a GoPro, a bait, and a little bit of knowledge and experience with these baits, and that's what I'm going with to try and bring you the best overall information before you make a purchase, or if you're looking to find out more about a bait. I figured there's no better bait to start out with these videos than maybe the hottest bait on the market right now, and that is the Bullshad Bull Gill Glide. This is a limited production bait, handmade, hand-tuned, and hand-tested by Mike Bucca himself. This bait was released earlier here in 2019 in limited drops. It comes in 2 standard colors. You have the bluegill color here, and you have a all-white bone color as well. And then you can, of course, get them ordered to be custom painted. I know that BB Lures does a great job. There's a few other custom painters out there taking their shots at this bait as well. That can come out absolutely beautiful. The specs on this bait: 3.7 ounces and 7 inches long. So really what I think is about the perfect size for a glide, even here in the upper Midwest, because it gives you the search power and the drawing power of a big glide, but it doesn't impair or deter bites. And of course, you see this is a really smooth bait. With bluegill baits, a lot of times it can be hard because gills have that rigid fins up here, up on top. The dorsal fin system is real spiky, pointy, and when a fish tries to eat a lure that is hard like that with those fins molded in, it can be really tough for them to get their mouths around it. This is a real easy, simple overall shape. Fish have nothing impeding their way to the hooks. The hookup ratio has been really good. You have the option to tune these baits. They all come standard in extra slow sink, but change the hook sizes and you're going to change your sink rates. So you go to a smaller hook, you're going to get a slower sink, almost a suspend at that point. When you go down hooks, if you go up hooks, you're going to get a little faster sink. You're able to work that bait a little faster. This bait excels in a multitude of ways. The way that I've found to be most successful is just real pops, real twitches, that stutter step that just kind of shoots this lure one way and back the other way. I like to let it finish its glide, then shoot it back the other way. You can kind of stutter it a little faster, make the action a little more choppy, depending on the attitude of your fish. Another way that a lot of guys really like to fish this bait is on the burn and pause. This bait is really special because it doesn't blow out almost no matter how fast you really want to reel it. I've got a 7.3 to 1 Tatula here on my glide rod. This is a Leviathan extra heavy 8.6 Omega, and no matter how fast I want to reel that Tatula, this bait does not burn out. It will wake up on top, and as soon as I stop it, it shoots out to one side or the other. It 180s on a dime to about face those followers. So this bait really, you have to be finesse with it in a way, because you don't want to overwork it. If you chop the reel too hard or work it with the rod too hard, you're gonna spin it out. You're going to overwork the bait, and the action is not going to be what you want. So you have to learn how to work with this bait, but really the bait does most of the work itself. So you're able to kind of be a little more finesse and easy on your approach with this bait, because it does so much work by itself. As a natural, it has a very tight swimming action without any, on just a straight retrieve, and that's not really what this bait was meant to do necessarily. So if you're looking for that meandering S-type glide, this is not the glide that you're going to want. But if you're looking for a bait that excels on the burn and pause, really easy to manipulate with reel chops and handle stutters, this is the right bait. They retailed at $90. I think it was $97 with shipping. and I know that there may be a couple more drops here coming, but I also know that Mike has new baits in the hopper that he wants to release, so these could be a hot commodity and hard to find here in the near future. Definitely, if you get the chance to pick one up, I would recommend it. I was fortunate enough to get this in a trade, and as soon as it was offered to me, I hopped on it because this is, without a doubt, one of the best gill glides on the market, in a market that I believe is struggling to see a lot of really good bluegill glides. This is a killer up here. I've caught fish from 10 inches up to, you know, 3, 4, 5 pounds easy on this bait. I've had a lot of really big followers, so this bait draws interest and it gets bites. Definitely don't hesitate to pick one up. I think that this is a bait that you're going to see in a lot of people's arsenals for a long time. I know it was tested by some of the best swim bait sticks on the planet before it was released, and of course Mike doesn't let anything out of his shop that isn't quality tested, tuned, and ready to get bit. This is one you're going to want to have in your arsenal if you have bluegill around you.